We hold mothers to such unrealistic expectations. And so often these mothers are married to men who will say things to them like, it's not a big deal. You overcomplicate things. What are you stressing out about? But these are the same men who are not held to the same standard that moms are. Dads are held to a very different standard. Let's use dinner, for example, right? As moms, we are expected to constantly be coming up with ways to make sure our kids are eating a well-balanced meal. Do they have enough protein? Are they eating their vegetables? Do they also have fruit? Do they know why these things are important for them? Are we talking to them about food in appropriate ways? We can't give them chicken nuggets 3 nights a week. That would not be okay. We would be judged harshly for that because it's our responsibility to make sure they don't grow up to be picky eaters and that they also don't have any weird complex about food. We are constantly thinking about food for our kids because it's our responsibility to make sure they're eating it. But we cannot slack, and God forbid you give your kid something with too many chemicals in it, somebody's going to comment about it, right? Somebody's going to make a comment. Dads, if a dad were to have his kids for an entire week, say mom's on a work trip, and he fed them chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, pizza, maybe just cereal for dinner, everyone would say, well, at least they were fed. At least he fed them. At least he knew to feed those kids, right? And that is the difference. Women are not overcomplicating things or stressing too much. The expectations that we have for mothers are incredibly high, and the expectations we have for fathers are incredibly low. And it's not that women are overcomplicating these things. It's that when they don't meet this standard, they are criticized harshly for it. So the next time you think of saying that to a woman, saying it's not a big deal, or what are you stressing about, or don't overcomplicate things, remember, she is being held to a different standard than you, and so you are allowed to walk through the world doing the bare minimum. You're allowed to walk through the world. You could plop your kid in front of a TV for 3 hours on Sunday morning and nobody would bat an eye because you're a dad. If a mother were to do that, people would criticize her, say that she's letting her children's brain rot. Doesn't she know how bad screen time is for kids? Doesn't she want them to be developmentally on target? Does she even care about their futures? Of course she does. But men get a pass to do that. They're not criticized for doing that. And so it's incredibly frustrating as a woman and a mother for somebody to come to you and say your standards are too high, that you expect too much, when in reality, that is what's been expected of you all along. You don't get a break. You don't get to mess up. You don't get to slack off, because if you do, someone will say something about it. You will be criticized. Somebody will say you are not doing enough as a mother. And so yes, we hold ourselves to very high standards. And I encourage men to start looking at the bar that we hold women to and look to achieve that as well. Do not ask us to bring our expectations down for you. Think about what's best for your children. Think about what's best for your partner and participate in it. Think about those things. Think, would my wife be criticized for doing this right now? Because if she would, then chances are you shouldn't be doing it either. Okay?